Of wire fraud as police say she participated in a scheme that defrauded and obtained money from the YMCA using her position as a bookkeeper. 63-year-old Lori Zietler was indicted by the U.S. Attorney's Office Springfield office, along with the help of Taylorville Police, the FBI, and Illinois State Police.
And coming up on the 9 o'clock hour of the morning show on WCIA 3, it's been called the best kept secret in DeWitt County. We'll tell you all about these veteran pilots coming up in just a few minutes. We'll see you at 9.
This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by CIBM Bank.
9 o'clock on this Monday morning, and thank you for joining us. Our temperatures at this point now have risen into mainly the upper 60s and low 70s. You can see the radar is quiet, but the satellite is picking up on quite a bit in the way of some cloud cover. And that's what we have on our Flooring America iNet from Gibson City right now, as we have more in the way of clouds that have basically moved into all of the viewing area. The dew points aren't too bad in the lower middle 60s, and our winds are out of the northwest right now at around about 2 to 5 miles an hour. So you're going to see that we're going to be cloudy for the rest of today, maybe sneaking in a rain shower here and there, and our temperatures will be topping out into the upper 70s. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Alrighty, Jack, thank you, and thank you at home for joining us this Monday. I'm Matthew White.
And I'm Karina Rubio. We have a lot in store for you in the next hour of the morning show, but first, let's take a look at your eye-opener. First responders from all around Champaign County gathered for some emergency drills. Why these agencies are planning to keep doing that.
Plus, this next story is for those who really love Subway. We'll tell you how you can make some quick cash in our trending topics of the day.
And we'll tell you about the fundraiser held for 4 Central A&M students after a tragic accident. All that and more in store for you on the morning show, which starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is The Morning Show on WCIA 3 News.
Well, a Champaign high school turned into a training facility. EMTs, firefighters, and police officers from across the county gathered at Centennial.
And there they went through emergency drills, including training on how to respond to an active shooter. So WCIA 3's Ariana Williams was there and will share more on how their training went.
More than 130 on and off duty first responders attended the Rapid Response and Rescue Task Force training.
In roughly 60 minutes, we are providing classroom training, a briefing, 2 tactical scenarios, and a debrief to every first responder on site.
Organizers say this was years in the making. They spent a lot of time making sure this training was thorough. And while they say it's crucial for first responders to know what to do in an emergency, they say they will always need the public's help.
Again, it's that old adage, see something, say something. I know it sounds cliche, but it's really as simple as that. I know in a time right now where everybody's hypersensitive and hyper aware, I don't think that's a bad thing.
The motto for the training was "Come in as you are." It was supposed to replicate the unexpected nature of these scenarios.
All you have to do is look back at these incidents in the news and watch who shows up. You know, officers, first responders in shorts, somebody in a polo shirt, somebody in full armor, somebody in a uniform. That's exactly how these are going to happen.
Organizers are hopeful the tactics learned here will be shared with departments across Champaign County in order to keep the community safe.
Now, this isn't the only training that will take place in the area, because next week U of I police will have their own exercises. This time it'll be at Uni High in Urbana, and they're going to practice responding to active shooters and similar threats.
In other news, a 22-year-old Urbana man is recovering after gunshot wounds to the leg. It happened in the 100 block of Kenwood Road in Champaign Saturday night. Police say the victim was walking when a man walked past him, turned around and fired several shots. The suspect ran away from that scene. No arrests have been made yet. Champaign police are asking neighbors or businesses nearby with security cameras to notify police. If you have any information, you're encouraged to call police, or you can also contact Crime Stoppers anonymously. And a 22-year-old man from Decatur is dead after a shooting early Sunday morning. This happened in the 3700 block of North Woodford Street. Jackie Debery was arrested for first-degree murder and was booked into the Macon County Jail. Police are still investigating this shooting.
Well, we did learn 5 people from Gibson City were arrested after police conducted a search warrant, and they did find drugs and weapons. Police seized 75 grams of meth along with ammunition, cash, and more. And so as a result, 3 men and 2 women are now in the Ford County Jail. Sadly, though, a 22-year-old Mattoon man is dead after he lost control of his vehicle. This all happened at 1000 North and 700 East near Mattoon, and it all took place around 5 in the evening on Saturday. The driver was identified as Anakin Feuerborn, according to the Champaign County coroner, and the initial investigation states that he overcorrected. It was when he lost control, causing his car to flip, so he landed in a ditch and later died at the hospital. That investigation remains ongoing.
It quickly, within day 2, I had people from all over Central Illinois wanting to donate, wanting to help.
Now, one woman did find out that her friend's son died in a car crash, so she knew she had to do something, and that's why she planned a big fundraiser to support the family. And then people across several communities pitched in. About 2 weeks ago, 4 Central A&M students were in a car on their way to lift weights with the football team, but they got in a car crash.
15-year-old Keegan Verdon and 16-year-old Connor Rowcliffe both died. Kelly Champion says her husband worked with Verdon's father, which is why she decided to organize this fundraiser. She says a small group of volunteers turned into a team of people who just wanted to help. And once the word got out, she says donations came pouring in, including food, live music, and auction items. Champion says many people there don't even know each other. They just showed up to support a family going through an unthinkable tragedy.
This definitely has restored my faith in humanity, and it will make you feel different. I mean, just to come here and see complete strangers that have come together to help someone, because, I mean, I can't imagine losing your child, especially at 15 years old.
She says they've already raised almost $30,000 for the family online. If you would like to donate, we have that information over on WCIA.com. All right, and now that you're up to speed on the news, let's go ahead and check in with Jack for the weather.
That's right, Jack. May not be the most glamorous day out there, but it is nice to see those roadways are wet in Gibson City from the much-needed rain.
Yeah, and we've got actually more rain on the way for especially tonight and into tomorrow morning, which is going to be good to see. You'll also see, though, from Gibson City's Flooring America iNight camera, the cloud cover that we have out there. A lot of us will be pretty cloudy for the day today, which will keep our temperatures from getting too much out of control there. It's going to be actually a fairly nice, cooler day compared to where we have been for a lot of June and July. Storm Tracker Doppler is currently quiet in terms of any rain, but the satellite is active, picking up on the clouds, and you've got those rain showers that are kind of fizzling out a little bit in Missouri and in Kansas and Nebraska, but it's still holding on. However, the boundary that is associated with these rain showers will eventually come on through, and that will provide us with our chance for rain, especially overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 60s and low 70s. And our dew points are primarily in the low to middle 60s, so it's not too bad out there thanks to our winds out of the north coming in pretty light at about 5 miles an hour. So your cast high temperatures for today, a lot of us are going to be stuck in the 70s, which would be nice to have. No 80s today. A lot of us will be in the middle to upper 70s, and we should be dry for much of the day today. It's going to be overnight tonight, though, guys, where we have a lot more in the way of some rain showers, potentially heavy at times too. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Hey, finally that rain hitting in the right spots, because we've had it, but you said earlier, just not where we needed it.
Yeah, that champagne bubble has been strong. Over the weekend, we had that one giant supercell thunderstorm, and it looked like, okay, here it goes. It's finally going to hit Champaign with some rain, and then it just died, like, right there. So hopefully we get some rain, because we all need it.
I was going to say, it's kind of weird. You miss the rain nowadays
Yeah.
instead of the sunshine. So.
It's like, you just want everything to perk up outside. It just looks so dead out there.
Yeah, I got to bring some life back into it.
Yeah.
All right, now turning to our trending topics of the day. We're talking about a sandwich challenge, the Mega Millions grand prize making history, plus a peanut is being pushed up Pikes Peak. First up, if you really like Subway sandwiches, they have a challenge for you. The sub chain is offering one person free sandwiches for life. All that person has to do is get a 12-inch foot-long tattoo of the Subway series logo. That tat can be on the person's back or sternum, and it will earn $50,000 a year in gift cards. Now, 8 other people who don't want to make a foot-long commitment can still get rewards. A 3x3-inch tattoo is worth a year of free sandwiches, or about $4,300. And even a 2x2-inch tattoo will get you a free month, or $372 worth of subs. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but there's going to be people who do.
Easily.
Yeah. Especially the big tattoo. Yeah. Let's get the big back, back ones.
It's just a big foot long.
I mean, I like Subway.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it'd be worth it to get it for a lot.
Like, especially if that, the one notch down tattoo where it's like the 3x3. It's like, I should be here.
Oh
I've
my
been meaning to get a tattoo too, so this might be a good start.
Well, it's it's a good way to promote the brand there, I'd say.
Absolutely.
I can see that those people who just kind of get tatted all over just because it's a hobby of theirs or a passion of theirs would definitely do this and get that lifelong sandwich.
Yes.
Well, they say you get addicted once you get one. You just want to go and get more tattoos. So.
What sandwich is your guys' favorite from there?
Ooh, ladies first.
You know, I'm pretty plain. I just like the, what is it? The cheesy Italian bread, is it right?
Oh, the Italian herbs and cheese.
Italian herbs and
Ooh,
cheese. As
Jack
long as
knows
it's
it
on
down.
that, I'll eat it.
Anything?
Anything on that.
Got it.
I just do turkey,
You
basically.
do turkey? I'm a BMT guy.
BMT.
Okay.
Same sandwich for decades
Everywhere.
now at this point. Yeah.
At least you know what you like.
Yeah, at least I know what I like.
I don't think you guys will be getting any tattoos soon
No.
of your sub.
My skin's too sensitive.
The Mega Millions grand prize is now up to $790 million, making it the 4th largest prize in U.S. history. There was no jackpot winner from Friday's drawings. The pre-tax $790 million prize is for the winner who takes annual payments over time. The next drawing will be held tomorrow night. The world record jackpot was more than $1.5 billion back in 2016.
Counting down the clock till someone wins this year.
I know.
Hopefully one of us.
Well, I don't buy my Mega Millions until I cross the billion threshold.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You want the bees behind those numbers.
Well, just because it's like not gonna win anyways, you know.
So you might as well go for the stars.
Yep.
So the benefit to the annual payments is you get taxed less on it, right? Instead of just one lump sum.
Yeah, the lump sum is like boom, there it is,
Right.
and then it gets taxed. Whereas like the other stuff you get plus two, like let's say if you live a long time, you could then potentially get paid out more.
Okay.
But you got to think about it this way though. It's like if you take the lump sum, then you can invest it.
That's
and then if
true.
you invest it, then you can get even more money off
Build
of
it.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you could actually still probably make more money taking the lump sum, even though the actual amount would be smaller from Mega Millions than it would be from the yearly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would much rather have it all just hit the bank account right away.
Yes.
Hey, I love the financial tips that we're giving people in case they win.
Yeah, because
Just maybe wire it to us sometime.
please do.
I know, right? Well, in our final trend, this is actually pretty interesting. A man is attempting to push a peanut up Pikes Peak, but with just his nose. So Bob Salem started on Saturday, and he had hoped to finish this following Sunday, but he's actually not the first person to try the odd task. Bill Williams first did it in 1929 as part of a bet, and then another man replicated the feat over 8 days. That was back in 1963 using a spoon attached to his nose. So Salem tried it himself to celebrate Manitou Springs' 150th birthday, and he also wanted to be the first person in the 21st century to do the peanut push.
I mean, that
takes effort.
oh my gosh. And he thought he could only do that in 2 days?
Well, so one guy did it over 8 days.
Yeah, like-
A little more
1963,
reasonable.
But yeah, to do it over a weekend is
'Cause
nuts.
Pikes Peak is
No pun intended.
Pikes Peak is not a small hill, you know, like it's pretty high up there.
I mean, yeah, look at the elevation.
I mean, they race like supercars up there, and that.
Oh,
you know,
they did?
they're going very high rates of speed, but it still takes them like multiple minutes to get up there. So like this would take a long time.
Every ounce of energy.
Yeah.
I would hope that he gets something in return, or is he just doing it to say that he's the guy who did it?
I think bragging rights.
And then like a peanut, like it kind of matches like
Taped it to his nose.
it kind of matches like the dirt and everything too. So, like so you lose the peanut.
Good point.
Oh my gosh.
Or if you get too tired, you might eat the peanut.
Yeah.
Work up an appetite there.
Right.
All right, well, still to come here on the morning show, wise guy Paul Wcia is in for this morning's Wise Guys. That's coming up right after this quick break. There he is. We'll be right back.
Nice.
Live from your local news leader, Karina Rubio, Matthew White, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Griffin. You're watching The Morning Show at 9 on WCIA 3.
Welcome back. We appreciate you staying with us, Central Illinois. As we said earlier, it's time for Wise Guys, and we, as you might already know, we use cameras to highlight important events in the community, but today we're going to talk about what it's like to use a thermal one instead.
That's right, and joining us to talk about that is Wise Guy Paul Wcia. It's been a while since you've been in studio, right?
It has. It's great to be back. Nice to see you both in person and to actually be able to touch someone.
Hey, best thing to do. Well, thank you for being here, and the exciting thing is you have a demonstration for us today.
Lots of cool stuff. So, light comes in many colors, of course, some of which we can see, some of which we cannot see. Of course, that's the spectrum. And light that's bluer has more energy than light that's photons that are bluer have more energy than light that's red. So I have a spectrum chart. I don't know if you can call that up. Just, of course, there's things beyond what we can see. So beyond, awesome. So if we go bluer than blue, we have violet, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, more energy. And on the other end of the spectrum, we figuratively and literally, we have red, and then infrared, and then microwaves and radio waves, lower energy. So we can only see in the visible part of the spectrum because it's only those photons that can activate our photoreceptors. But anything that's warm will emit thermal radiation, infrared radiation. In fact, there's one more chart, the second chart, that shows that the hotter something is, the bluer the wavelengths it emits. So if you're something like the sun, it's emitting mostly in the visible. But for something like us, we're emitting around 10 micron wavelength or something like that. So that's about 50 times longer wavelength, 50 times less energy than the sun would have. Okay, so I have this cool camera here, so back on us. This fun camera right here. So this camera, which hopefully we can zoom in on. And awesome. And so this is my hand in the infrared, emitting in the infrared. Great. Okay, so let's just keep that on that. So anything that's transparent, it turns out that depends on what color we're talking about. So I have this kind of piece of plastic here, this transparent piece of plastic. You agree it's transparent? And I'm just going to put my hand here, and I'm just going to put this in front. And you see that, in fact, this plastic is completely opaque in the infrared, which is like super weird. And then I have this other piece of black plastic. I think you'd agree that that's opaque. And this is the most amazing thing. We're just going to zoom in here again on the camera. And, and in fact, you can see my hand completely through the camera, completely through the bag. So in fact, the bag is completely transparent in the infrared. So that just means that this type of plastic doesn't have any transitions that mask that infrared photon energy, so the infrared photons can't be absorbed. They just go right through. It's the same reason that radio waves go right through you, because the photons don't have enough energy. X-rays also go right through you. The photons have too much energy, so you kind of got to hit the sweet spot. Okay, so the other thing I kind of want to talk about, though, is just a little bit of a subtlety. So in thermodynamics, which is how heat and energy flow, there has to be sort of a balance if things are in equilibrium. So I stole this little flower from your thing over there. And if this is sitting in the room and it's at room temperature, it's at room temperature, so it's always emitting thermal radiation, infrared radiation. But it also has to be absorbing infrared radiation from the room if it's at the same temperature. And it has to emit exactly the same amount that it absorbs. And so there's just one more graphic on that. So if it's going to stay at the constant temperature, the emissivity, how much it emits, has to equal how much it absorbs. Because, for example, if back to this flower, if this were to absorb more than it was emitting, well, then it would just sit here and it would slowly heat up and it would get hotter than the room. And we know that that doesn't happen. And also, if it were to be emitting more than it was absorbing, well, then it would be slowly cooling down. It would eventually be like an ice cube. And again, that doesn't happen. The thing's just sitting out. So they have to be able to absorb as much as they emit. And we can come now to this piece of plastic, and I'm going to have you help me out. Just put that between your forearms.
There we go, like that?
Yeah, and on both of them.
Both
squeeze it in. Squeeze it in
between.
Squeeze
it in. Warming it up. Like
there you
this.
go. Yeah. So we're going to try and warm this up a little. Just piece of plastic up. So we saw that this type of plastic was completely opaque to infrared. So completely opaque must mean that it's completely absorbing. That's what it means for something to be opaque. It's not transmitting. It's absorbing, and also not reflecting. So in this case, if this is really a good absorber, then that should mean it's a really good emitter of infrared radiation. And so if we can get it to be the same temperature as us, as our body, I'll take that back from you, and I maybe give it just another little thing. If I can get it to be the same temperature, it should therefore look exactly the same as my arm. So it shouldn't be black anymore. It should, hopefully we can zoom in on this and we can see that it should look. Can we zoom in on our infrared camera here?
Moment of truth here.
The moment of truth here, yes, the moment of truth, which is that it should look it should also look, there we go.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
so it's also, it's no longer, it doesn't look cold anymore. It looks like it's hot, and of course it's not quite as good because it hasn't been in contact with me for too long, or with you for too long, but it's still emitting in the infrared because it's a perfect emitter. And in fact, we are also perfect emitters. Our skin tone is such that it doesn't matter what kind of skin tone we have. We're all perfect, almost perfect emitters, and that's actually one way that we stay cool, is we're able to emit all this extra radiation. Otherwise, we'd be way too hot. So if you like that kind of fun stuff, I'm also here representing our own favorite Laboscape, which is only operational for the rest of this week on campus. So if you are interested, we still have some slots tonight and on Wednesday. Now it's only $4 a person. I encourage people to go online, laboscape.org, and check us out before we disappear.
And so before we wrap up, is there a specific place online people can go for more information?
Yeah. Laboscape.org. One word, and I promised that this would be a way of that you could look cool throughout this whole thing. So if we can just come in on the camera again, so there we can see. So because my glasses are made of plastic,
That's scary, Paul.
yeah, well, maybe a little bit scary, but you know, cool glasses.
Yeah. Oh man.
Awesome.
Good Halloween costume there.
Yeah.
All right.
Started.
Thanks so much for being here, Paul. That was pretty cool to see.
Nice to see you guys.
All right. We'll be right back after this quick break. Make sure you stick with us.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Gervin.
We expect rain showers to be potentially heavy at times during the overnight hours tonight. Now today, especially already this morning, we know it's been dry. We have just a lot of cloud cover. Today there could be a few showers here and there, but overall that chance is pretty low. We're basically waiting until tonight and more so tomorrow morning for those rain chances to really begin to pick up here in Central Illinois. Here's what things look like currently from our Gibson City, Florida America INET cloudy skies. You definitely have the clouds on the satellite, but Storm Tracker Doppler is quiet, not picking up on any rain just yet, and it's not supposed to be yet. We've got these rain showers still kind of along a boundary across Missouri, going back into Nebraska and Kansas, And so even though a lot of the rain showers have fizzled out as it gets closer to the Mississippi River, they're still kind of holding on together. But we do expect, by especially overnight tonight, for the conditions to be a bit better for the chance for these showers and storms to eventually develop, and then those will be coming through our area during that time. A lot of us are in the upper 60s and low 70s right now, 69 in Champaign and in Pontiac, up to 72 in Wcia, 73 in Effingham, and the dew points are not too bad, currently in the middle 60s as of right now. Our dog walking forecast for the rest of today, we've got temperatures that are going to be, like I said, getting into the upper 70s with cloudy skies, but at any point you're good to go with taking the dog for a walk. Just like Priscilla here, as Courtney sent in that picture there, there's a great looking dog there, and a little friend there with the little pig that she's snuggling up next to. Piggy Smalls is the name of that pig. I remember that from the email. So in 79 for the high today, cloudy skies and a few showers. Northwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. But most of our rain is going to be coming in overnight tonight with lows at around 63 with the cloudy skies and a chance for some rumbles of thunder too. We've already got a flood watch for a good majority of our viewing area right now that goes from this evening until tomorrow morning, because of the fact that we're likely going to be seeing a very heavy but potentially narrow band of rain showers that sets up over central Illinois. Now, if you kind of notice, and I'll even back it up here, you'll see that our watch area is actually a little bit farther south than what this area is with the heavier rain, so we may have to kind of see some play here with some of the counties that are in that flood watch. The models have also kind of been moving this a little bit up and down, a little bit north and south, but overall it's kind of settled there. And you're going to see with our future track that as we go throughout the night tonight, our chance of rain are really going to increase here. We're going to have just the heavy rain with the yellows, oranges, and reds that'll be kind of right over the central part of the viewing area, and that'll be sliding down to the south as we go into tomorrow morning, and then eventually we've got more in the way, so there's some scattered showers and storms for the rest of our Tuesday. You'll see that our rain chances then at that point kind of fall off after we're done with our rain tomorrow, with just a few scattered showers and storms for Wednesday and Thursday expected after the heavy rain. Temperatures, though, will be for the most part below average, which will be nice to see, with just tomorrow, or just with Wednesday, I should say, coming in above average. And the weekend looks great with a lot of sunshine temperatures that'll be in the low 80s. 7-day forecast, you've got, once we're done with our rain showers on Thursday, we are dry for Friday and the weekend, but most of our rain comes in tonight. We'll be right back after this.